Do you have any idea, you do, what it would look like if Cash actually said, we are going to start arresting and shutting down these funding sources? We're talking about, what, hundreds of nonprofits with millions of dollars in funding? We're talking about an entire sector of our economy.
Yeah.
Like probably a decent percentage that is literally just professional revolutionaries, agitators, and their legal apparatus.
You think violence is bad now?
I believe
watching
they're gonna
funding.
do it.
You think they're going to do it?
Yeah, I do.
What do you think happens?
Because I trust the president, because when he posted my work, like I could not believe it. Like that was
How old are you?
I will just say that 28.
Amazing.
But that was probably the best day of my life. Yeah, I'd probably say, because
it was like a month or two ago.
It's like in June, and he like captions it with my name, and I was like, the president just like what? And he means business. You can be on the right or the left. He tends to keep promises, and he's been on Fox. He's been, even when I was at Charlie Kirk's memorial service, Trump mentioned paid protesting.
Mm-hmm.
What do you
think? Things are on purpose with him. I think he's going to do it.
Based on what you know about this paid protesting stuff, what do you think it looks like when the DOJ finally announces the first indictments or the moves against these networks?
Well, you can look at oversight committee. Like Anna Paulina Luna is doing a great job with this. She knows about Singham. They know they need to bring this guy who's a Marxist billionaire living in China, whose wife is Jody Evans, who's the Code Pink one, who's literally harassing congressmen whenever they're at the cafeteria. They know the names already, which is a huge start, and they've been public about knowing the names. So I think it looks like wrapping up these giant umbrellas, right? Because there's not that many. Like you look at Westpac and Progress Unity Fund. Those two are huge. And then there's like 20 groups under them. But look at those two, and I think when you get a news about the DOJ, it's going to be about Westpac and Progress Unity Fund.
We have this image that Rep. Anna Paulina Luna posted.
Yep.
And you can see all of these organizations, No King's Partners. I believe this is yearly revenue. Is it not? Because I can't imagine that they're pulling millions of them per month. I imagine this is the totals for the end of the year, right? You've got ACLU with 42 million. That seems like a yearly number.
Yeah.
The ACLU, you want to hear a funny story about the ACLU?
Yeah.
Oh man, I think I could get in trouble for talking about this story. I'll keep it really light. I worked for, oh man, I could probably get in trouble. I'm going to say it anyway because here we are. I already opened the door. I worked for a corporation that did fundraising for the ACLU. We believed there was a labor law violation. So when we found out that the company that was working with the ACLU, okay, so we work for company A who contracts with the ACLU. When we found out that we were getting ripped off, so we believed, we reached out to the ACLU asking if they could do something about it, and they said no, it's a conflict of interest and we don't want to get involved. And we were like, this is supposed to be what you do. But they were like, yeah, but no, because we make money from these people. So we just said, okay. And that was the end of the ACLU for me for the most part. Yep.
Is there something to be said about, like, oftentimes I think back to the LA riots earlier this year, where there is a propensity on the right to disbelieve that this can just occur organically, and we kind of want someone up the ladder that we can chuck in jail, which, I mean, I'm not, like, this is obviously really at the core of a lot of these things. But, like, when I look at the LA riots, to me, there is enough tension in, like, that community with ICE that these sort of riots would occur anyway, regardless of
There are enough
funding.
Mexicans in LA pissed about ICE deporting their family members.
Right. There's enough abuelas and abuelitas.
I don't think anybody needs to.
whatever.
Soros doesn't need to pay out the Mexican to be mad about his abuela getting deported.
Yeah. So I think, like, sometimes I think people on the right just really can't believe that this is happening, that this is the state of the country.
What's Arabella? Are you familiar?
Arabs.
Arabella.
Yeah, Arabella.
I
So
knew
there's
that.
Arabella, Buffett, Ford, Rockefeller, Soros, and the Tides Foundation.
Yeah, so like each of these are enough to spend a lifetime looking into, right? So
Right.
Soros and Tides, it's funny how they split those up. This is virtually the same thing. Soros is the principal donor of Tides.
Really?
Yeah, Soros donates, hundreds of millions of dollars through Tides. So it's like saying, putting them in different columns it's needed because there's different people who donate to Tides, but it's mostly Soros. Rockefeller, Ford, all these names, it's like crazy. I do this every single day of my life and I haven't gotten to those names,
Yep.
I'm looking up Arabella Advisors. Their LLC advises left-leaning donors. It was created by former Clinton administration appointee Eric Kessler. They raise a ton of money and they dole it out to different Democrat interest groups.
Now, this is important. These are not, this funding is not for No Kings. These are just people who worked with No King. So you can see they've got the Human Rights Campaign. Where's the old Human Rights? Here you go. Human Rights Campaign Foundation. And you can see 2 million. Now, I'm curious. Why does it say Human Rights Campaign Foundation? You're all familiar with the Human Rights Campaign, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it lists it as the Human Rights Campaign Foundation. I'm curious if there's a distinction. Is there a distinction between Human Rights Campaign? I bet there is. Yes, they are legally distinct. Surprise, surprise. The Human Rights Campaign Foundation is a 501c3 and the Human Rights Campaign is a 501c4. Wow. Hey, isn't that funny how I just described how nonprofits have this practice of splitting themselves up? To be fair, every single nonprofit does it. Even Project Veritas had Project Veritas Action. But I don't trust them. I trust James.
I do think the left wing does a very good job of organizing their donations and their funds and raising funds from donors across the board for what issues they care about. So if you read through these different organizations, it's catch-all leftist issues, but it's things like gun control, LGBTQ issues, race issues, abortion issues.
Climate change.
Bro,
climate change.
It's all gay race communism.
Exactly, but they do an effective job of raising money individually for all of these different organizations. What I wish would happen on the right is that we had as good of interest groups fundraising money like this to effectively battle them. So there needs to be people who care about, I mean, there's every issue across the board, but gun rights, caring about immigration and closing our borders. We need to raise funds to have PACs to donate to candidates who support those issues. And they're very, very organized in how they do this stuff. I mean, I guess we do, Republicans raise a ton of money for anti-abortion stuff.
I mean, I would just like to be able to Venmo ICE. That would be nice. Just slide a little.
Why do you think... Oh, go ahead.
No. I'm gonna
Why
jump
do you
stories,
think
so.
it is that the right has such a hard time with that? So I've always pointed out, like, in my lifetime, at any place that I've lived, I've only ever had door knockers come to my door that are campaigning for left-wing organizations or campaigns. I've never had anybody on the right.
Oh, what about missionaries?
No,
That's not a joke.
no,
Yeah, that's true.
never.
I think
So let me just clarify this. The legal function of a 501c3 is supposed to be a secular version of church. Churches were tax exempt. They had certain rules. And 501c3 was basically like, okay, if you're, because of freedom of religion, we will create advocacy groups for other ideological causes that function similarly. That's why they always say churches can't, engage in politics from the pulpit or whatever. So there needs to be more. I guess the issue is this. This is the point I'm making. Christians of all different backgrounds, even, I know there's some controversy, I guess now over Mormons and other Christian groups. I've had them come to my door quite a bit.
Yeah.
And they talk about their moral worldview, but it's overtly a religion. We recognize this. When the left comes, it's not different. They're espousing values of their non-theistic religion. The issue is that what you're talking about, Brett, I think is, or I should say, Elaad, where's the moderate, pro-America, meritocratic-based
PACs and organizations trying to advance that. I mean, I guess Turning Point USA was doing the best job of that, but the left really effectively took Charlie Kirk off the board. Brett, to answer your question, though, why I think this is more prevalent on the left and not the right is because at the core of, I feel like, right-wingers' ideology is like an individualism. Yeah. And it's like the idea of coming together and trying to work with others to try to like accomplish something big and like get into this big commune. It sounds like communism, and I think right-wingers think that's kind of gay, as opposed to people on the left where it's like, let's find somebody to like raise money for to try to achieve a goal together, and let's all work together. And I feel like that's a very left-wing type idea. So naturally, it flows that they'd want to organize more than a right-winger would.
Yeah.
A right-winger would say, hey, I think I could do this on my own and fight this on my own. Like, I want to be my own boss. Like, I don't want to have be somebody else's employee. On the left, they're like, let's all hold hands and, we're all equal. And I'll give you a ton of my money, try to go accomplish something.
Or if they would try to start building some type of coalition, they'd start arguing about it and then wouldn't get around to the actual building.
Well, beyond that, too, it's like the left for 30, 40 years now, 50, 60 years now, has provided like a vision for how they want the country to be reoriented, how it wants to be structured. And so that gave leftists and just like people in the left broadly something to buy into, something to organize around. Where the right, it really wasn't until Trump that a vision was provided for America. For 60 years, the Republican Party was like, let's just slow them down.
There's just like one quick thing about this about like leftist NGOs. a lot of them started for like with good intentions. Okay, so like one of them, one company I exposed, La Colaborativa, they started to help immigrants. Here's the problem: on the left, we changed the definition of immigrant, and we just refer to illegal immigrants as immigrants, and it's awful. Because people like my father who came to the country legally, waited, fled communism, contributed, is now being described as the same way as someone who hopped the border and is trafficking drugs.
I can tell you the big problem with nonprofits. Nonprofits are supposed to go out of business. They are not businesses. They identify a problem and then request your assistance to stop said problem. So let's say the problem is plastic pollution, right? You're a nonprofit, and you got started because you're like, plastic is a problem.
Your slogan is death to plastic.
And your slogan is death to plastic. And so you are soliciting donations to end plastic pollution, the goal being at a certain point, there should no longer be plastic pollution. Let's say, hypothetically, in this world, one day, a new synthetic material is developed which eliminates the needs for plastics. As these things happen, like plastics came about replacing glass and metal containers. So let's say one day they're like, revolution, plastic is now being phased out. This nonprofit has 1,000 employees, 37 offices across the country. They have to bring in $8 million a year just to sustain it. Do you think they're going to go, guess I lost my job now? Do you think the executive director who's getting paid $1 million a year is going to be like, I'm going to fire 1,000 employees? No. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to find something else to complain about. They're going to find some other reason. Oh, I got an idea. Let's talk about Greenpeace. You guys know Greenpeace?
No.
Really? Greenpeace is like the leftist nonprofit. They got started because there was a small handful of people got a boat and opposed nuclear testing, nuclear bombs being detonated in the ocean. And so they would bring their boats into the fray and sit there so the tests could not be done. And they got a bunch of donations for it. Now, you name an environmental cause, they're against it. Just pick one. You've got the issue of whaling, I guess. They're against nuclear energy, even though nuclear energy is emission-free and the cleanest energy we have.
Even something like homelessness is literally not solved because the incentives are all off. They're not incentivized to fix the problem.
Yeah.
So that's just,
Yep. Why solve any of these problems? It's funny because it's the same thing as Big Pharma. If they cure your disease, they're out of business.
I think also, like, now that I think about it more than anything, like I said, all the door knockers that have ever come to my home they're always young adults. They're very idealistic, and that same sense of idealism doesn't necessarily exist on the right. It's a form of pragmatism towards the future, that they want an idealistic future, but they have too pragmatic of a worldview to really buy into that. So it's easier to sell people on the idea of hope than it is to actually sell them a realistic plan.
It's easier to sell people on free shit than sell people on like individual responsibility.
Gentlemen, many of you may have wondered why our number one is not here, Phil Labonte, and why Tate was filling in. I am currently peeling some foil off of a bottle of bubbly, which says, pop and cheer when baby Labonte is here. As Phil Labonte has just super chatted, I'm at the hospital. Sarah's water just broke, and we're about to welcome our first son to the world. By the time you read this, he will likely already be here. Thanks for all the prayers and well wishes. Congratulations, Phil and Sarah. I am going to
Let's go.
pop open this delicious bubbly. If I can. There we go. Don't spill on me. And we don't have any glasses, do we?
No.
We're taking swigs out the bottle.
I
Let's
can
go.
chug this real quick. We're waterfalling? Let's go.
Waterfalling.
Phil,
Bless you
cheers. Mazel tov on your baby. Hopefully the first of many, repopulating the country. Let's go. Congratulations to you. Take as much time as you need off, buddy.
Are you not waterfalling it? Did you?
Dude, your nasty lips on there.
Foul.
Yeah.
Already foul.
COVID 25 or something.
If you wouldn't like some. No pressure.
Phil, I don't know you, but you seem like a great guy. So.
You know, he's a rock star. He's
Platinum.
Platinum.
what's
think
the band
multi-platinum.
name? I should.
All that remains.
Wow.
No one's waterfalling. You guys are all just basically kissing each
We're
other.
men. We're
practicing for hex.
Once you do
Alcohol,
Yeah,
I
who
cannot drink it,
cares?
but Phil, Sarah, congratulations.
Let's go.
Have some chocolate Numa.
What do we got here?
I got my...
There we go. Congratulations, Phil. Take as much time as you need. We'll see you when you're back.
Salute, Phil.
You're gonna snob Serge. Wow.
Phil is. Oh yeah. Wait, Serge, bottoms up, dude. Just polish it off, man. This is for Phil.
Let's go.
Hey, Phil,
I'm
I want you to
done.
drink more.
All right, Tate, next. You next.
Yes, Phil, I love you. You're the best. And you've changed my entire perspective on the left lane. Like before I came here, I was kind of ambivalent.
It's not for crime anymore. He's gonna have to drive slow now.
Welcome to the world, new patriot. We have a lot of work to do. We got to save America. So as soon as you can like talk and walk, let's get to work.
Have you door knocking for Republican causes?
That's right.
I love that he did the meme. The my wife's pregnant, about to give birth.
had to do
watching Timcast IRL while your wife's in labor.
It's the meme, the most important thing you can do. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.